Meanwhile, air traffic is flying into and out of El Paso International Airport in Texas this afternoon following an emergency shutdown ordered late last night. Now, sources tell CBS News the FAA grounded all flights due to disagreements between the FAA and the Pentagon over drone-related tests. El Paso's mayor called the decision to close the airport an unnecessary one that scared and caused chaos in his community.
I want to be very, very clear that this should have never happened. You cannot restrict airspace over a major city without coordinating with the city, the airport, the hospitals, the community leadership. That failure to communicate is unacceptable. These types of decisions have consequences.
All right, I want to go now to CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie Daggett. This was alarming, Charlie. What more do we know?
Yeah, Liz, you mentioned the word alarming, and I have to mention what my colleagues use the word spat, because that is what it appears to be between the FAA, the Pentagon, the White House, and others. Just broadsided everybody to hear that this warning, this notice to airmen, NOTAM as they call it, went out. And it's something that you have to take seriously. And of course, it's going to send jitters to anybody in that region. It's going to close down that airspace because it's essentially saying it's not safe to fly here. That is the #1 responsibility of the FAA. Now, you're looking at those images there, and I've been there several times. You've got Fort Bliss, which sits right up against that airport. And there is testing that goes on there, and a lot of it's overt, some of it's covert, of counter-drone equipment that's being used there. And as we've already described, high-energy lasers is part of that. Now, obviously, there's a lot of communication between the U.S. military down there and the commercial airport to avoid situations like this, a sort of deconfliction, say these things are happening. But we also have to point out that these Mexican cartels, not far from the Mexican border there, they have been trying and advancing their own drone programs, most of these surveillance drones that are coming in. The U.S. military is trying to find a way to offset the threat of those drones. And it comes at the same time that a couple of what were called aerial objects were shot down. Later we find out they were party balloons, but they were over that area. Again, that's a U.S. military base. They hold the reservation in order to eliminate any potential threat there. But this came as a surprise to the Pentagon, to the White House, to us as we woke up this morning, and it was very brief. It was supposed to be 10 days that they were going to put that in place, which would have been obviously very serious.
Charlie Daggett, thank you so much.